it?
Yeah, yeah.
You are a son of a bitch.
Un saluto a
Hey,
tutti.
what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the AJC. And yeah, a little blip there. Wanted the three-man shot because I'm not joined solely by Omer today. Not that that isn't a pleasure on its own. And he's going sleeveless today, which is always a treat for match days. Okay, so hopefully bringing the luck there. I am joined also by John Groh, president of Juventus Official Fan Club Toronto, obviously head of the official fan clubs North America. We are very happy to be partnered with, all right, in a beautiful organic joining, okay, a merger that is probably going to shift very soon. More details on that coming out, I'm sure, in a month or so. So keep eyes on that. But John, how are you doing, my friend?
Fantastic. Just just getting over the jet lag of last couple of weeks, and it was a fun time. We'll get into that. What happened in Turin, and it's great to be with both of you. Like I said this morning before coming on, it's actually an honor to be with you. Obviously, always Berto, but with Omer, it's obviously I have a lot of respect for his opinion as an analyst and understanding of the game. Always great to be with true Juventini.
There you go, Mr. President of the Black and White House. I love that from Vidad there. There you go. Awesome. So, Omar, how are you doing, man? A lot of praise
Uh,
there.
yeah, I'm. He told me not to be flattered, but I am. It's hard. Well, hello everyone. Ciao tutti. Always a pleasure being here. And let's go. We have Juventus today on the agenda.
There you go. There you go. We got John for a little bit of time here, so we're gonna tackle little tidbits in the news. I don't want to reiterate to death a lot of the stuff that's been going on, so I maybe twisted a few things into certain questions, and we're gonna get to that, and then get into this latest trip with the fan clubs head into Turin with a couple of cool pieces for fan club members that came out of it, and just talking about the feels, the vibes in Turin in general coming out of that. But as far as the news goes today, we're not really getting a whole lot other than no interest, Mirko Di Natases and Wilfried Ndidi. But the McKennie renewal. Sport claiming that it isn't going to go down and that he's rejected yet another offer. Real quick, because we haven't got John's kind of thoughts on this. John, is McKennie a player that should be renewed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Personality wise, I've had a chance to meet Wes. Calm guy, easygoing, brings a different approach to the game. Doesn't seem like he's really altered or impacted by individuals, by anything. Like he's just very calm. I think he's good for the team. I think he brings, you know, uh, a heightened awareness of football that wasn't there with him before. If you're catching this guy right now, we've given opportunity to others who I don't know, you know, did as well or what have you, and given them an extension at 7.5 million, and he's got a ponytail and he's been in the midfield, and this guy has done, if not as much or more as Mr. Rabiot has in the last couple of years. And you look at the difference in wage comparison between both. I think you give him an extension 1 year plus option, give him the raise, see what happens. At the end of the day, the wage isn't that high that you can't move him, like we've had problems in the past with moving heavy salaries. So Wes is great for the team. I think he's great for the branding and the awareness of this organization. I know what matters is on the pitch, but I think he's done enough to warrant a pay raise and to stay with this team. Whether it be even a sense of, if it's support, if we're gonna go, and that's wishful thinking, out there and pick up a few more pieces in the midfield, and he finds himself more as a support. I mean, I don't know where you can find someone at the 3.5 million coming off the bench and supporting you. We're going to need the depth going into
Yeah.
four competitions next year.
Yeah. Omar, you on the same length there, wavelength?
Yeah, we've talked about it
Yeah.
like maybe yesterday, and I said, I mean, if anyone deserves, to walk into the office and ask for a raise, it's probably McKenny. And
Yeah.
maybe two others in the team. So it's pretty rare that the newspaper breaks out this type of news and not, our regular reporters. So if it's not coming from Agresti or Albanese or all those guys that are always seem to always be at Juve headquarters, and then I'm not buying it. That it was
Yeah.
already offered contract, and it never comes from the newspapers. So we'll
Yeah.
just wait on that. But I would definitely, like Joe said, we need depth. He's a great guy, great atmosphere, very important to the locker room, more than meets the eye, in my opinion. So I would love to keep him actually.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think he's done more than enough to warrant, and I mean, we've kind of set the tone on pay grades with what we've given to other players and whatnot. So he's definitely, I think, within rights to ask for a little bit more. Now, Danilo, I want to talk about this because we've seen. This Ronaldo thing come back in. That's been beat to death. We're not going to get into that. However, it's still a sign and of past problems still coming up from previous management and whatnot. Now we get the news on Danilo, the contract situation, that there is this automatic renewal on 50% appearances next season. We're going to get 50% appearances of Danilo next season if he's around, or you give yourself more work to deal with this summer. So these kinds of things are still creeping up, and it is kind of frustrating. But things that, for me, the mismanagement that kind of happened towards the end there with that other regime, obviously, it's evident. I mean, when you're making moves that take control out of your hands in some way, shape, or form, it starts to impact things. And this Danilo thing, we can't scrap him this summer. Like, I
No.
wouldn't do that, and I wouldn't move him this summer. So we kind of just got to ride it out. And I see him getting 50% of games next season unless we do something kind of out of pocket for this summer, because we know where the attention needs to go. But how do you feel when this Ronaldo thing, and then now this Danilo thing? Like, it's just more and more evident that regardless of how that change happened, maybe it should have, with the change in, you know, the people in charge, and now obviously a business model. Would you agree, disagree with that, John?
So first things first is whenever there's controversy, every journalist looks to Juve. Juve sells more paper, and this whole thing with Ronaldo, he just got the top up of what he got. So people don't understand that he already received a half of the amount that was owed to him, and it was just the top up that Juve was on the line for. So when I hear people, oh, 19.5, you guys, Juve, this is your team. People don't understand that that's the total amount, and journalists skew what they have to say. But the Danilo thing is, again, it's you don't blame the player, you blame the system and the management for what is it. Listen, we're all people. If we were in the same position as Danilo to guarantee ourselves X, we would do the exact same thing. If this is management that doesn't understand the way to run a team, and there are obviously glaring scenarios, and over the course of the last 3-4 years of contracts that we've had to eat, and it's been crazy money, not little money, crazy money. You can go from everywhere from Matuidi to Higuain to Ramsey to Artur. Like, just those are four names that haunt us in terms of contractual obligations. So it's something that I think with guys like Juntolin and Calvo, and having some smart economic minds up top like Ferrero and Scanavino, you have the ability to kind of get back to a ground zero, like a rubble, like a house has fallen, you've cleaned that house away, and now you're starting from a foundation. I think this is where we're going to be in June, but we have to be very careful as to how we build our foundation again, and who we keep around and who we get rid of, because that will pave the way for whatever we decide to what our identity will be in the next 4 to 5 years.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we
that's
mainly
what.
need to be patient. That's the key word. I mean, you don't build a house in 1 month.
No.
So like John said, we all have to like just hang in there. It wouldn't be pretty right from the get go, and it will take time to get rid of some of those players. I mean, the Shilio is still on the team.
Yeah,
I don't even know when Piazza finally left after what was it, 7 years
yeah.
at the
Man,
club.
a summer with Piazza not coming back just seems wrong. Just seems
Oh,
wrong.
I have that photo saved for every time he comes back and we're posting it in the news. I have the same photo. It's his best one, and I have a song that goes with it. But let's see if he stays.
I'm a firm
And
believer. I'm a firm
Danilo, I
believer.
mean, he's
Everything
not.
happens for a reason, and
I'll do. I'll.
no
Yeah.
matter how it came along and the frustrations, we can ride it out. We can get it, but I think ultimately, the shift, the change, it had to happen. And we've been talking a lot about June Tully and what can we expect or what not. It's a difficult moment for a lot of fans right now too, because they're asking, like, it's not that they're asking, but they really don't know what he's going to do. And fans kind of are getting to me, with feedback that they're uneasy about it. And I'm like, hey, it's just because it's unfamiliar. But I actually love the fact that seemingly nobody knows what he is going to do. It's the one time I think we can actually sit back and I could share all the rumors and everything. And we could just be like, okay, that's what we're hearing today. Dust it
The
off your
question
shoulder
is,
and move on. Because I actually love the fact that nobody seemingly has any idea. And he's crossed up the biggest of guys. And we had one of the biggest guys with egg on his face recently and whatnot. And it's going to be interesting. But I actually don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. So I want to get your guys' thoughts. Obviously, we'll start with our guest on just the unknown with Juntali and how you feel about it, John.
I love it. Did anyone know Alcaraz was coming when he did? No one. That Alcaraz came out of left field. So that for me is a sense of giving people an understanding. And I mean, not that whether or not Alcaraz stays with us next year or not is not the approach. Is actually the no one knowing that Alcaraz came, signed with Juve, and what have you. I still believe in Berto. We've had conversations, text messages, whatever. I still wouldn't put money down on positions of management, players, or anything happening. When they happen, uh, I would really, really like to, just tell the Juventus universe out there that be excited at the fact that this individual knows what he's doing and that he's got support of guys like Giuntoli that are just absolute monsters in the field of soccer, in the industry of soccer. I mean, you look at Calvo's CV. The guy is just an absolute genius. Barcelona. He's been everywhere in this, and he understands what it takes. And you have a guy like Cristiano Giuntoli, is a true Juventino, and wants guys with that ego want to be the ones to make the difference for this team. He wants to know that he made this team win, and that's his goal, and he will do whatever it takes to do it.
Love it. Love it. Omer, quick thoughts on just the unknown of Juntali.
I think it's interesting. I would definitely go back to the times where I had no idea what's going on until players signed. I remember
Yeah.
opening the Juve website. It didn't even have any reporters website, and suddenly Cannavaro and Zlatan were signed. I remember that day, both of them together, and I think it has some effect. The longer it goes, like the transfer negotiations, well, maybe only for me, but the shorter time I give the player to impress. Like
Yeah.
if the negotiations were very long, I'm very impatient because was it like worth it? Remember the Lucatelli saga
Oh,
and how
I was
long it?
just gonna say Locatelli was
Yeah.
oh my god, it was pain.
Imagine you knew about it a week before it happened.
Man,
How that changes.
meeting after meeting after meeting, we're like, guys,
Yeah,
it's 2022, whatever, 2023, like pick up the phone, send an email, like let's go. What's with
yeah,
these meetings here?
True.
But
yeah.
it's totally different now. And yeah, I remember
My
the days
question
where
is, my question is, does it filter out the same way to other clubs? Like, does other are we unknowns for other clubs? Like, do they know even where we're going? The players we're interested in? Because before that, everyone knew who Juventus were aiming for and could drag us out with negotiations and more money and more money. The fact that we don't know what Giuntoli wants is interesting. Do other clubs not know what Giuntoli wants?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that there's like just because we're so, submerged in Juve stuff and all these news and rumors, it's not like all these other clubs are following like Pedula and these guys and looking at them to what's going on with Juve. I think they're so submerged in their own world that no, none of what they're saying or anything really
Mhm.
correlates if that makes any kind of sense. Like, I mean, a prime example is even looking at Klopp and Klopp talking about like Italy and trying to talk about like strikers and Scamacca and whatever. He's like, oh, I know strikers, but no, he couldn't even really elaborate on the question in there. They're so submerged in their world, man. I don't think it's like
Yeah.
the picture that some of our fans like paint for ourselves that, oh man, they're gonna know where we stand with this guy, we get no leverage and stuff like that. No, I don't really necessarily buy into that personally. But John, what do you think?
I think he's an interesting individual. I think that people around the league already know what he's done with Napoli in the past and what he's capable of doing, and actually breeding and looking at the next type of player being very interesting. We can go to Scalia from Napoli, even though he's fallen off the perch where he was last year. We're talking about a player who came in there and just demolished Serie A last year with Osimhen and Anguissa. So this guy has the ability to build something, and probably build a player, get him looking good, sell him, make some money, and maybe just maybe pulling off an Onana, selling selling this guy for big money and flopping like no one else's business, and doing that. I trust the management now. I think there isn't this rodeo style, Wild West style approach and just slinging money anywhere and everywhere. And I think that's what's got us in trouble.
And Shade here reminding us when Arsenal's owner said it was difficult to deal and operate with Giuntoli. I actually like that. I like that he's going to have a spine about it for us. And we started seeing inklings of that with the Anderson move that fell through because, again, it was always rumored around 4 million salary. But then we heard he's got a policy for 30 and up. If that's your age bracket, you're in for a lower salary. It was just over 3 million that it would have been finalized at, and I just don't know if he's gonna be able to stick to that with certain guys if we're looking to bolster the roster, which is interesting. But I do like a lot of what I'm seeing so far from Giuntoli in terms of how he's operating. Again, it's a short sample. We'll see what happens, but we do have you for a couple minutes left. We got to get into the last trip to Turin with the group, John. Okay. Obviously, we see the group here in the streets of Turin. Amazing. Number one question I have is how many fan clubs were actually represented on this particular trip?
It's crazy. So we actually didn't know. Fabrizio Capobianco from Silicon Valley was there for Juve Lazio. So we had three presidents present for this. This is at the Juve Fiorentina, or no? This is Juve. No, this is Juve Lazio. Here we had three fan clubs available. But Fabrizio was inside. It's Salt Lake with Stefania Melis and a few of her people, then us from Toronto and a couple others from right across the planet just saw our banners and just jumped in with us, which was absolutely awesome. We had people taking photos. One of our members was actually interviewed by another outlet over there, just saying, "Hey, who's from Toronto?" And
Yeah.
they were just astonished at the group and where we came from, and it was awesome. This is on the stadium tour.
Yeah.
I will tell people, anybody and anyone who is in Torino, if you don't do this, you are missing the Juve experience. This is just remarkable. You go right through the bowels of the stadium. They show every aspect, and I don't want to give away what they do, so I'll leave a
Yeah.
little bit of a thing. And a couple of our guys actually asked for a piece of grass, and the groundskeeper said there's nothing here. And all of a sudden, he came back, and there was a couple of shards of grass that someone had pushed off to the side, and he gave it to our guys. These guys are like, put them in baggies and like, I'm taking this home and I'm gonna put it. So,
That's
a lot of
awesome.
a lot of first timers. This is my son on the right with his vintage Del Piero jersey, and Nico Ladogana, who came from Montreal, was part of our Toronto club. His dad,
Nice.
Donato, was with me too. So you notice the beautiful photos up overhead of Del Piero and David's. It was strategic. This was just before the game against Juve Lazio and Coppa Italia. It was a great night, great atmosphere. And we enjoyed ourselves tremendously. There was just a great air. These are a few of our members here: Leonardo, George, and Louis, all first timers, and
Nice.
that for me is the greatest gift. The excitement and the look on their face when they walked into the stadium, heard the anthems, and it was unreal. And one of the experience. This is
Meet and
uh,
greet.
yeah, meet and greet. So this is part of the club experience, the fan club experience. Guys, this is why you join. This is what you have. This is a remarkable human being. And I'm
How
not talking.
was Keenan? So Keenan Yildiz was the top drawer.
I think there were a few of them that were really top drawer. They just come off a practice, but
Yeah,
this is a special human being, not from a soccer perspective, but just from a human perspective. He is a special human being,
that's
and
cool.
he has hints of ADP in him in terms of how he carries himself. And I'm not saying he is, and that's
Yeah.
for people. Don't crucify me. It's hints of ADP. Okay, there's no comparison here, but he is a very special human being who really understands the weight that is on him and the spotlight that's on him, and he's ready for it.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. High words of praise from John. I love it. I love it. And now, obviously, the children
Oh,
that came along get to greet the players, obviously, coming off after warm ups, getting ready for the game. That's cool.
yeah, my son actually loved Yildiz. You see, he's reaching hard because they had a great discussion at the meet and greet, and he got to see him again. Samuel was amazing with the kids. Samuel's just a great human being as well. And this is part of the experience. If you decide to be part of one of the fan clubs and you go to a game and you want to be a part of something, your kid, anybody under the age of 14, I guess, you can actually ask your local president or representative to include you in a lottery pick. It's not a for sure, and they give you a gift pack with the actual penny you actually take home with you, and
Nice.
the kids get to go and meet the players, and it's an experience. My son was just emotional after it, like just
Yeah.
being on pitch side while this was taking place during the Juve Fiorentina game.
And then, of course, that's you on the sideline, waving the
Yes.
flag, bearing the flag. What was that like for you, man?
I tell you, my legs were almost jello.
Yeah.
Walking by the Curva Sud, and they're applauding you, and like I got chills going down my spine right now. My hands are tingling just thinking about coming onto uh, the old Juve anthem, being on pitch side, and before the anthem as the players are coming on. What an experience! And this is part of the fan club experience too. This now Juventus have added this. This I'm gonna let you know with other clubs, and I'm gonna be very honest because I've been studying this for a while now, supporting Juve with any initiatives. This at any clubs you're paying anywhere between, and this is not a joke, £3,000 to £4,000 to have an experience like this pitch side. This is free with
Wow.
Juventus. This is free with Juventus. This is a again lottery. If you're a representative or a member of a club and you're going to a game, this booth will be available. Now it's only I think 10 spots. I could be wrong, maybe eight. I can't remember exactly. And myself and Donato Ladogana, one of our other members, because our children were going down. I went down. The heat came down too. We entered the lottery. We were chosen, and it's an experience amongst ourselves. Yeah, it's a lottery pick, but to even have the opportunity to have that experience along with the walkabout. So there's six available spots per fan club at any given game.
Yeah.
So which is an amazing experience. The there's a lot of great things happening coming down the pipeline. I'm going to drop just a date for you guys. May 8th of this year. Be prepared. There's a lot happening with regards to Juve's digital media and what they're doing. They already started working with who was it again? Sorry, the company, I can't remember. They were there.
Optic?
Optics. Sorry, there you go.
Optic
They
Gaming,
were
yeah.
there. Yeah, they were actually there the day I was at the Continasa. I didn't share you pictures of the Continasa. I didn't want to make people too jealous of where I was during that day. But there's a lot happening. I was taken through the compound and right into the offices, and they're doing a lot of great things there. May 8th will be a release. Everyone stay tuned. There's a lot of things happening. And I'll
Nice.
be attending the President's Day festivities May 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So stay tuned for that. So I'll be in Rome for that. I'll be at the Rome Juve game. So that'll be fun as well.
Nice. I thank you for sharing all that. I know you got to get going. We ran a little bit longer. I apologize for that, John.
All
But
good.
one last message for the fans and kind of the vibes around Turin. Is there a message you could send to all the fans right now as we try to wrap up the season? Everyone's expecting kind of this bumpy ride. What are your sign off words?
You never give up on family. And the best thing to do is always to stick by. We've had harder times, but know that this group of individuals and having an intrinsic understanding of what's happening in turn, be a smile, be happy, be excited, and that's it. Like they say, fino alla fine, forza Juve, always.
I love it, brother. I love it. I thank you for joining us. Albeit next time we got to make it the full show. We love having you on. Your insight, man. It's an absolute pleasure. Keep doing what you're doing. The work is incredible at always bringing us closer from so far away to the club we love, man. And I can't thank you enough for that. So, grazie, man.
Bye, boys. Enjoy the
Thank
rest
you,
of the
John.
show.
Ciao, ciao. Take care.
Bye.
All right, Omer. So now we get into that Yildiz. So high praise from John on Yildiz. And we got to talk about it because he's kind of been put as the face of Juventus, obviously moving forward. But there's a little tidbit in there that I've kind of been looking at, and it's got me going back and forth in my mind. And it's the fact that I was hearing that he was the one asking in the negotiations for the number 10. Now, what's interesting was certain fans' perspective on that coming out of hearing that. Because I was speaking to some fans that said, if that's the case, I actually think a little bit less from him. But then there's the other side that's, hold on a second, that's pretty ballsy if he's come out and said, I want that number. So I just want to hear from you, like, kind of, let's say, just for the sake of discussion, that he did want that number in part of his negotiation. How does that make you feel?
It's interesting.
It is
I mean,
interesting.
you can take it both ways. You can look at it from two angles, and the problem with social media and what we do is whatever I say here today can be pulled up later, and people will tell me you were wrong. And I know if the player wants it, it means he wants to prove something. He had a dream. Okay, any of us would have probably dreamed of being the number 10 for Juventus, and if you have a chance, you take it. But that number is a contract in and of itself. That
Yeah.
number, the minute you put it, it's a contract you sign between yourself and the players that you're going to honor that shirt and you're going to give it everything you can because it matters to people. Um,
I love this
so,
comment, Justin.
oh, I'm wrong a lot. My wife is the one who's always right.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so it's a contract, and like every other contract, it has a time span. Yildiz with the 10 on his back, how much time does he have till we start saying he isn't going to cut it?
Yeah. I'd say I can't say that I think less of him for asking for it. I'm
No,
definitely
definitely
not on.
not less of him.
No, I'm definitely not on that side of the fence. I think that there's still, like I said, in my personal thoughts and whatnot, like I think we should leave it vacant. I think you should have this build up for it because it should mean something in respect to the players before. in terms of him thinking everything, absolutely not. I think I am of the belief that that's ballsy. That is confidence in
Yeah,
yourself and a personal belief to probably the strongest degree.
yeah,
That's how I look at it with that. And
yeah,
if he's asking for props, I will go back to the Dusan Vlahovic signing, because obviously he came in right after Ronaldo and we were like, oh my God, he's taking the 7. But then found out that he was going to pick his original striker number at Fiorentina there of 28, and the club pushed 7 on him for the marketing side of things. He was going to take 28. So I think, yeah, it's a little bit telling of the mentality and what we're seeing out of this guy, and John's words about him there, and how his demeanor and his presence at that age. It says a lot in terms of him being, lately in news the past couple days, the face of Juve's future, and getting this new Juventus that is with precise characteristics of young, talented, but aimed at bringing the costs where they need to be while still ensuring competitiveness. Are we going to be able to really, really do that to the strongest degree? I still see that you're going to have to, like, we're already tipping the scales on too young. You and I have talked about this a lot, and we do need experienced guys that are still of quality. I don't
yeah.
really
I
know
mean,
about this project and so much integration, like youth wise and everything. So I'm taking it with a grain of salt, because I'm still tying all of this into the fact that I don't think it's the true project. And I think everything's being skewed right now because of the finances. And I'm still of the belief that Yildiz could very much be the face of Juventus, the future of Juventus. I'm not saying that's not the case, but I think nobody really knows, kind of how we're talking earlier about Giuntoli. I don't think anybody knows what this new Juventus is going to be, or if there is necessarily a set game plan for this new Juventus other than right now correct the finances. Do you agree?
yeah, 100%. I mean, we've discussed it a million times.
Yeah.
Il- Ildiz, we all have high hopes for him, and he's gotten this rare opportunity where at 19 he's the number one candidate at the club for the number 10 shirt. And so I get it. I don't think less of him because of that. Um, he might not get that chance again. And if he is a Juve fan, and if he is a Del Piero fan since childhood, then I understand. I understand going for it, seizing the opportunity. Yeah, we will have probably more and more youngsters. Some of them will be sold after playing good for Juventus. But of course, if we could have signed, more veteran players, better players with more, under their belt, more titles, more experience, of course we would have done that. The reason we don't do that is because we can't. So our hands
Yeah.
are kind of tied, and I'm happy we have the next gen. But it wouldn't be like that forever. The minute things stabilize and we can afford to bring some more ready players,
Yeah.
we will do it. We don't have a lot of options either way.
Yeah. And then speaking, to the kit, Alex P saying the ship has sailed, Al, about the number 10. If we're not retiring it, might as well give it to whoever suits it best. No problem. And the onus is on the club from Vincenzo G, whether they give it now or wait. Yeah. You know what? Ultimately, what kind of changed me too is when Del Piero himself said, give him the number 10. I think he should get the number 10. I was like, okay, if you're cool with it, then sure as hell, I'll be cool with it, because I always looked at it as this kind of respect thing, and you need to earn it, and it it does have a weight about it. I really do feel that way. However, also from a marketing perspective, I think like when it's just kind of slammed there, like let's say the Pogba return and everything like that, and it's just marketing, I think it kind of loses the allure, and it hurts the allure of the number, and it turns it into this thing. Well, just give it to whoever wants it. That's what I'm kind of and that's why I think like if you had a build up, if Yildiz is selling strong at 15, Okay, ride that out. And then when he gets it, boom, the anticipation of like, when is he going to get it? And don't forget, like, Fagioli. People wanted Fagioli to like get it. And I was like, well, no, pump the brakes. And then you could have had a number 10 that goes through what he had to go through this year, right? So it's just like, let's just wait. Let's just wait. But I understand if he wants it and the club's good to go, let's fire it away. But in terms of this youth and this new Juventus project, yeah, I honestly, I'm with you. I don't think anybody really knows. And it's all finances right now, as it should be. Let's get that in order and then move forward. And the Giuntoli thing has been dissected a lot. He's catching strays and we don't know why. And it's all over the place. But John.
Yeah, we're tired of blaming the same guys all season. No, we have to
and John's
have some
words
new ones.
were, pretty solid in just, you don't give up on, you don't turn your back on family. You just, we ride it out and we've had it good for so long. And it's just a rough patch right now. We're going to make it through, everybody. Believe me, teams have faded into irrelevancy through less than what we've gone through in the past 3 seasons. Juve's going to absolutely get back where we need to be, okay?
Eventually, we will pin that shirt on a guy who deserved it. You gotta have some tries. It wouldn't always work. Maybe Yildiz is that guy. I hope he is.
I hope so, man. I hope so. And you love hearing the way he was interacting with the fans and everything, and just it's cool. It's cool to hear. I hope it works out for him and Juve. I hope it works out with everybody that we bring in to the club moving forward, because we need to start hitting big time. All right. We do have a game today. I have to apologize to everybody. Plans have changed, as I have, my tournament club has 2 titles to defend this weekend in 2 divisions for our tourney. And we have altered the time that we are leaving here because it's a 4.5-hour drive. I will not, unfortunately, be able to bring you a live watch along, all right? But I will be watching the game from the backseat of the truck while we're driving down to the tournament, okay? So still watching the game, still following. Apologize, everybody. I really wanted to rock that watch along and then leave after. But, I'll be there with you guys all in spirit, and you've watched enough watch-alongs that you know what my reactions are going to be. So there you go. Now, Cagliari, Juventus. Oh, man, a lot of mixed expectations is the best way to put it heading into this thing. I'm going to remind everybody, take a second, like the video while you're in here. But Claudio Ranieri will manage without Oristano, Petagna, Mancosu, and Pavoletti all sidelined due to injuries. He's been getting some good results as of late that leave them in a position where they don't fall into the relegation zone, even if they suffer defeat today, which hopefully they do. But it's still going to be a battle for them, and they're going to give it everything they have because they're fighting for their lives. Viola's kind of been this valuable little asset for Ranieri, and he's starting to score and get a little bit of a scoring prowess there with goals in the previous 2 game weeks after coming on as a substitute for them. 3-5-2. You guys know exactly what I'm going to say when we play a team that mirrors us. Omer's reaction says it also. 3-5-2. Scuffet, Zappa, Mina, Dosena, Nandez, Diola, Macumbo, Sulamena, Ogello, Luvumbo, and Lapadula up top is kind of going to be what we're expected to see. And for us, well, you know what the story is going to be. And I honestly do think it's one of the weak points that Juve just has to find a way to address, and that is the middle of the pitch. Again, let's see what ends up going down for us. We kind of got to talk about Max's presser going into it and whatnot. I think now, not that it's really any different or that it hasn't changed at all here and there, but like a little bit more so now. I'm noticing Max's words kind of being altered a bit. And I'm speaking to when he said he was asked a question about the mercado and just players coming in. He says the club looks after the mercado, and they were asking about the winter mercado. He says what's done is done. We can't go back and change it now. And everyone kind of jumped on that as him making excuses. And I actually I read that and didn't even think anything of it. I didn't think twice about it whatsoever. But do you think there was a shot there fired as how they're trying to paint it up? A shot there fired at the club for the winter mercado?
No, it kind of feels like a generic answer you give in
Exactly.
pressers when you have nothing to say, and might even more indicate that he's kind of signed out. And maybe that's the reason that he's just not getting into it because there's no point to it. I mean, I believe that if he's gone in the summer, he already knows that.
Yeah. I, I yeah, I think
It feels
now
generic.
I think now it's at the point where everyone's dissecting every little bit of it to suit the narratives, and I just think it was so generic of an answer that I'm like, really?
Yeah,
I
like
think
that.
everybody needs to bring it down and just see the season out and just remain calm. Remain
Like
calm,
that,
okay?
like that Cambiaso slip up.
Now,
Um,
in terms of what we're expected to see and everything, Romeo Agresti's probable 3-5-2, obviously. Szczesny, Gatti, Bremer, Danilo, Weah, McKennie, Locatelli, Rabiot, Cambiaso, Chiesa, Vlahovic. So Weah on the right side, Cambiaso on the left side. No problems with it whatsoever with this lineup. I would probably prefer seeing Illing Jr. on the left, just in terms of what both those guys have brought between Weah and Illing Jr. Illing Jr. a little bit more up on that, to be honest. Cambiaso with McKennie on the right has worked very, very well. I don't know about shifting it there unless Weah's going to the left. He's played left and right side at Lille before we picked him up, so who knows? But I'd expect Cambiaso to be on the left side. Any qualms with that lineup, Omer?
no, whatever gets what's his name, Kostic out of the lineup, fine with me.
Yeah,
Just a bit of
and Frank's
tweaking.
saying
Yeah,
that Cambiaso disqualified for cards, but Romeo has him in there. So did Romeo make a blip there? No, Cambiaso's in there. This is coming from Sky Sport too.
okay, maybe he's not
Yeah.
out.
So
And
I've never
I
seen anything on him being out. He's in all the probables I've seen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I still would have liked to see what I said last week. I want McKennie on the right and Alcaraz in the center, just to shake that midfield a bit. And it was rumored that it was tried in training and stuff. I know, but it is what it is. I mean, Cagliari are. You don't know what to expect from Ranieri. This could be the game of their lives, and the bottom of the league is very tight. I mean, they're like, what are they, like 15th in the league? They
Uh,
are 14th, and they're like 4 points away from the red line. Beneath them, everyone is with 28, 27, 26. So they're not out of the woods yet,
yeah.
and they could get relegated. But I'm keeping an eye on Docena. He was a handful for us, especially in corners
Oh yeah,
in the last
aerially,
match.
man.
Yeah, he's 25. He has 3 assists and 2 goals this season. That's not bad for a defender at Cagliari. So yeah, I'm be keeping an eye on him.
Yeah.
He caught my attention the last match, and that's it for me.
Alcaraz is still adapting to the team, apparently, Vincenzo G. So we heard about Thiago Giallo and like reports that he is not adapting to Italian football. Well, is Italian football this like beast that is just so different? Like I don't even believe any of these reports. I have no idea what's going on with Thiago Giallo and that whole scenario and all this adapting into there. At the end of the day, like it's just like play the guys. Let's see. Let's see what we have. But in terms of the Alcaraz thing and playing a midfielder, it was funny because from our main, when we reported the news and put out there that he was playing around with this in training and messing about with it, We got a bunch of comments that were like, Berto has literally been screaming for this since the win streak. Like during the first thing, like use a midfielder to support Chiesa Vlahovic up top. Like use a midfielder up in advanced positions behind them. It's painful that you reach a point in the season where you're trying something like that out, you know, and
Yeah,
it's this late.
in
Like,
April.
yeah, you just you haven't done enough, and this is one of my issues that I've said recently is that even when things were going good for us in terms of results, you could see that you still needed something more on the left side, a little more support for the guys up top. And we just never really seemed interested in trying to progress or evolve ourselves. And that's the part that bothers me the most, to be honest.
Mhm.
But
Look, a
everybody's got
lot.
their own thoughts on it. And I see some of the
Yeah,
comments in the chat. It's just, there's a lot of frustrations around the team. And just obviously, it's played out the way none of us wanted it to or have wanted. But there's a lot of things going on, and when you start hearing rumors about what could potentially be going on behind the scenes, it maybe starts to make a little more sense as to the complete drop from a point behind Inter to, or even a point above Inter at one point, to this, where you're not even close, and now all of a sudden you're scraping by. But Italy's going to get the fifth Champions League spot. That's pretty much sealed now, and a little bit more breathing room if anybody was having doubts or anything like that. But it sucks that you have to, think about that, because we shouldn't have, based on where we were. Second place, at least tighter
yeah,
there.
that downfall is historic. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I don't remember Juve being, this high and falling this far behind. Our luck is that all the other teams do play in Europe, and they dropped a lot of points along the way. Otherwise, we'd be out of the top four back in March, even
Yeah,
before that. So
yeah,
yeah, and I've seen Chiesa been a huge debate, a huge topic of debate in the past
massive.
week. And since Ronaldo, we kind of, fell in love with the, taking sides on players, coaches, management, whatever. And Chiesa, it started with Ronaldo and Dybala and Vlahovic, and now it's Chiesa. So where do you stand on that? Because I saw a lot of pulling stats. He did this, he did that, but the lack of for me the lack of help from midfield and looking to him being the sole creator up top really takes a lot off his game. So that's why I can't blame him. Yeah, he has his shortcomings. Yeah, he needs to do better. He needs to finish more chances. But it all falls on him. That's kind of what I feel when he's playing.
I feel like it's not a Chiesa issue. It's an overall issue. It plays differently when Yildiz is in here, but then all of a sudden you see what we lack on the wingback role, depending on who's there, because they play it so differently. So like you gain your width with Chiesa that's out there, and he can get in those spots advanced off the wing, but then you lack your support for Vlahovic or whoever the striker is there, because of how Chiesa plays the role up top there, spreading out wide and everything. And then when you get Yildiz in there, depending on who's on the outside, you lose the overlap and you have nothing out on that flank and everything. So it's like we have issues one way or another, and it's not coming together. Chiesa, for me, the part that's bothered me this season is, for the majority of the season, his attitude has pissed me off. And it's that of a spoiled brat. That's me just being 1000% honest with everybody. But people that are making excuses for it and just saying, well, if you're playing out of position, if you're doing this, if you're doing that, guys, there's being a professional and there's being a key guy for a player that you have to man up, buck up, and be part of the solution, not part of the problem. Like express these issues. Like, is anything coming from his side? I don't know. I've watched a video where Joshua Kimmich is sitting down in a video session and then breaks down why he doesn't like or believe in what they're about to do as a game plan against a team. Is that coming from anybody at Juventus? I don't know, because I'm not in those sessions. But there is so much more to it that we don't see, that we don't get. But for me, if you want to be a key guy, if you are in the top 5 paid players of a team, I expect the attitude to be on point no matter what the hell's going on. Don't show weakness to the opposition. Don't show frustration. Like, fight through. Be a fighter. Be a leader. For me, it's not all just this team, this approach, this whatever. There is something going down from his side of things as well. You can't have Vlahovic, who is going through the same thing, do a complete 180 on his attitude, and all of a sudden, his game changes too. Because I will say this, and I can attest to it from personal experience in playing days. Like, your mentality, what's going on with you mentally, has such a massive effect when you play any sport.
Yeah, and that's usually overlooked, because the easiest excuse is these guys make millions, they should be professionals. But I mean, every celebrity in every aspect of life, whether it's football, music, any type of sports, has to deal with these psyche issues, and it's not easy. Not all do great with it, and maybe Chiesa is at that point. But I always look at at the mentality of players and what they have to go through, regardless of how much money you're making.
Yeah.
But I do expect him to be better and take the reins, because he's not a youngster anymore. I mean,
No.
he's one of the more senior guys.
25 going on 26. I mean, the young things kind of, like, these are the prime days.
He's not a youngster anymore, and he shouldn't be treated like a youngster.
Yeah.
I agree. He has his shortcomings.
And I agree 100%. The midfield for me, it needs bolstering. It needs bolstering. We're going to get to that in kind of the Storm the Barn session, because I do have a question. I've been asking a lot of Juventini about to get their thoughts. I've been laying it out on daily updates, but we do have to get to the prediction challenge. You guys know the drill in the chat. Reminder, like the video. Let's go. Bunch of you in here. Let's go. Hit those likes. Now, final score, 2 tiebreakers. At the end of the day, no matter how we're feeling about this, we gotta see where we stand. So, Omer, do us the pleasures of going first with your prediction.
Well, Cagliari are a good team at home, relatively. Out of 16 games, they only lost 5. I think they have 6 wins and 5 draws. But they are missing a lot of key players. Okay, so most of their goals are from open play. They have 6 from set pieces and 1 from penalty. The rest is all open play. At their home, I don't know if they are going to score or not. I believe we'll keep the clean sheet. I think I want to go with an easy one. I think the hype is too big, and it's going to be an easy day at the office for Juve. So I'm going with a 3-0 win.
3-0?
Yeah, I'll take the 3-0 win. And hopefully Chiesa scores one so we can stop complaining. And I want to give a brace to Dushan.
Is there a cat there?
No, that's a peacock.
Oh. You're hanging out with a peacock right now.
Yeah. No, I'm not hanging out with him. He's just outside my window. But yeah.
That's amazing. A peacock.
Yeah, I'll get you a photo later. They just walk around here free. They don't do anything but make noise.
This is amazing, man. I just picture you surrounded by wildlife outside your house every time we got a show. It's like they're just watching you. That's amazing, man. We got a peacock on the show today. I love it.
Yeah, wildlife here is interesting.
Oh, man, that is so good. All right. For me, I think I'm going with... I think I'm going 2-1. I'm going to go with a 2-1 Juventus win. I'm going to say it's 1-1 coming out of the first half. And we edge our way through and get the victory in the second half. And I think the game winner is going to be a set-piece goal. So 2-1, set piece goal, and man, I'm going off of the McKennie train for goals, but I do think the man in question finds the back of the net today in Federico Chiesa. I will put Chiesa down for a goal. Okay, so 2-1, 1-1 out of the first half, 2-1 victory ultimately, set piece goal, but Chiesa finds himself on one. All right, so there
That
you
was my
go.
second guess. I was battling with the 2-1, but we're not conceding today. No, no way.
Yeah. Now we're gonna get to storm the barn, okay? But real quick, I said I wanted to talk about something coming out of it. And now, oh man, the peacock I think altered my train of thought there. That was just so out of left field.
See, they're assholes.
we're gonna
They're
we're
horrible
gonna get
animals.
to this one first. I'm sure it will come to me, everybody. Okay, it's not a problem. How did it feel to see a small club like Arsenal getting knocked out of the Champions League? You know what? I just love it. I just love it. The fact that the Prem's got what, one team left in
Yeah, who's a
European
West
play?
Ham?
Yeah,
West Ham, I believe, or isn't it? No, it isn't West Ham. Yeah, but none in the UCL and no one in the Europa League. So yeah, that's interesting. Well, it's a lesson of money can't buy success no matter how much you spend. There's still other elements that needs to come together. And my fear is they all run to their owners and asking for like 300-400 million to strengthen the squad so they can compete next season. And we're probably going to be one of the selling club who they're going to look to because they believe that's how it works. Just pour more money and success will come. So yeah,
there you go. There you go. I've been enjoying the Champions League, like just watching from a neutral point of view. Couldn't care less about any of the clubs involved. I will say this because I tweeted it out though. Jude Bellingham is a fucking unit. That
yeah,
guy
that guy.
is
That's
a
that's the mentality of a 20-year-old who's going to be successful.
that is crazy, man. That interview blew me away, man.
Spot on, not one wrong word in that entire interview.
It was incredible, man. The levels, it's it's insane. It's insane. Speaking to the pressure of the shirt, that question from Rio, and just being like, yeah, you know what? I think if you want to come to a club, a big club, you have to open yourself up to the scrutiny, the criticism, and whatever. It's just he was spot on in everything he answered, and it's incredible. Like that guy is destined to be like maybe the face of the sport for a while to come.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, that was
incredible.
impressive. That was impressive. I like the way he talked about Ancelotti
Yes.
and the way, and that's
There
a look in the backstage and see how he deals with those characters, and that was amazing to me. I mean, the calmness you can put out to your team and how it affects them. And a lot of people complained about the way Real Madrid played. I actually think it's a tool you need to have. Yeah, they shut things down. They're playing against the best attacking team in the world, and a lot of people complained, yeah, they were just parking the best. Well, guess what? They're off to the semifinals, and Man City are heading
they're
home.
only complaining because they lost. So it's what it comes down to. But like him talking about, yeah, you got your passing sequences and everything, and teams play like that, and that's great. And he said, but for us, he's like, I think it plays to our strengths that we're off the cuff. He said, like we're allowed a freedom from Ancelotti, and it's what we like, and it puts the onus on us. Like again, there is no set guarantee that you have to play a certain way. It's all about what works with the group you have.
It's
So
having those tools at your disposal of being able to play this way and that way when needed. And we saw that 2 years ago when Real Madrid actually won it. They played like the best attacking teams in the world all the way to the finals. They beat all of them in the last 10 minutes because when those teams needed to defend, and keep their score. They had no idea how to do that. It was embarrassing. Man City
Yeah.
don't know how to park the bus, and
And I'm
sometimes
actually
it's needed.
gonna highlight this comment from Iorio. I probably butchered that. I apologize. The difference is that Madrid does that in one game, but Allegri does it in every game, no matter who the opponent is. No.
True,
Well,
true. I agree.
no, this is the difference for me. The difference is the fact that even in games we control, okay, our guys they don't have the wherewithal to take control and break teams down even when we're controlling possession. So if we're asking them to play in that fashion, which we are the majority of the time, this is why it's not working, is because they don't have the wherewithal to think on their feet to get it done. I believe they do need. I believe the majority of the players we have need something set by design that they can follow, because they are not of the caliber to think that fast on their feet and get the job done. Because I've seen them dominate possession against lowly sides in Italy and have no idea how to hurt them. That's what I actually think.
Yeah, the thing it illustrated the most for me is that, yeah, Real Madrid, you need to be a very specific person, and it's just different. You can't make it if you're not like Jude Bellingham, like Ancelotti. You need to be that type of guy with that type of mentality. Otherwise, we saw a lot of players come through and they just didn't have it, and they were classic players. But
Yeah.
just Real Madrid is different, and yeah, no wonder all big players want to go there, and they can find,
Yeah.
yeah, the only
I
club.
I feel like it's what I've been kind of alluding to as of late, is that right now, if you look at our team as a puzzle, some pieces are wrong, some are missing, and it's just not jiving. I think to put it together, it's not going to be the way we approach and play. Like, we're not of the caliber. It worked for Allegri in the past because he did have the guys that had the wherewithal to think fast, think on their feet, and get the job done. But, we'll keep it moving in Storm the Barn here. How many points? This comes in from Sweaty. Do we? Or no, sorry. We did Sweaty. It was Sharia. Should we buy back La Jolla?
Mhm. Yeah, I would take the. I mean, we should not buy him back, but if there's an option and suddenly his name pops up and he's available for some reason, yeah, I would love to have him back. He's a classic player, and with
Uh,
a new coach, probably. A
I'm
lot depends on the salary, and yeah, there are other factors here. But just on a pure football level, I would love to have Dybala back. I have no issues to lose the
yeah.
player.
The ship has sailed for me. The returns thing is killing me. It's really killing me. Everybody. I just think we move. I think we move.
I think there's no way it happens. Just entertaining the idea, hypothetically, Dybala at Juve, yeah, it would be interesting. I don't see any way it happens. Roma, the last club Roma would sell him to be Juve. So, yeah, it wouldn't happen. No way.
Yeah. No. It's a no. Mathematically, how many points do we need to finish at least at fifth place? I haven't sat down there and calculated because I haven't really honestly been too concerned, overly concerned that we weren't even gonna get in top four. But looking at this, Roma's at 55 points with game in hand. Atalanta's at 51 with a game in hand. So let's say they win that 54. They have 7 points or 7 games remaining. 21. So if they won them all, what? That puts them at 73. So yeah, 10 points, 9 points seals it mathematically. Yeah,
Yeah, and
9
it
points
could
will
be,
probably do the
it
trick.
could even become sixth place.
Yeah,
So,
10
yeah,
points is
I,
the mathematical perfect thing, but I
and that
don't see
depends on day we
Atalanta
never.
going perfect. So
Yeah,
yeah, 7 may do it. 7 may do it. Okay.
it would be amazing if we make it out. After the
Oh,
top four, top five, top six, that
I don't.
would take
I'm
something really
honestly,
special.
I don't even want to spend any more than that on it because you get a fifth spot. and you fell out, like, no, that would be like ridiculous. And Juve would act before it got to that point. Okay, I believe it. If you could switch one of our players for a peacock, who would that be? Oh my God. Great one there from Adam. One player for a peacock. I mean, DeCilio. Would love to have a peacock on the team for DeCilio.
You know that a second before I said that, I was like running the name through my mind, and when I landed on the Shilio, I that's it. And then you immediately said the Shilio. So yeah, that's the right answer. I mean,
man, it's got to be something when it's just you and I on the show that the questions go off the cuff here, because now we're getting best kind of pasta. Oh,
bolognese with meat. Yeah, whatever has meat in it, that's my favorite.
So you like a meat sauce, hey? You know what? Like, it's probably just because of what my kids just love, but penne or rigatoni probably is just up there, just because my kids love it all the time. So it's probably
penne is my favorite because with the sauce, because of the way it's shaped, it gets everything. It's the best one to eat.
Yeah, it's pretty good, man. Rigatoni's beautiful, man. I love it. Penne rigate, like, it's great. Best restaurant in Turin.
McDonald's. Yeah, that's the no. I've eaten there. I don't remember the name though. I've eaten in a couple of restaurants, but no.
I'm trying to think of the name and it's eluded me. Adam, you got me on WhatsApp. I'll get back to you, brother. I don't know why I can't think of the name right now. Would you be pissed if we win Coppa and finish in top 5, but Allegri will stay for another year?
Yes. I mean, it's not personal. The club just needs a major shakeout. Someone needs to rattle the cage of Juve, and it's just easier. I mean, I'm done hoping that it will get better with the same guy.
I would be shocked. I don't know if I would be pissed, because I just don't see it continuing. I think all the signs are there. I also felt that way last summer. You guys all know about that. It would need some serious explanation, not just the rumors today of the 20 million plus the 10 to Ronaldo of it changing this decision. I think if you're looking at football matters and a football perspective, I think the signs are there that it's just not working. And it really has nothing to do with blaming either the players or the coach. It just simply isn't being put together. It's just not working. There's no harmony there that I can see. I really don't think it has anything to do with blame, but it would take some serious explanation, I think, for them to kind of go that route if they were thinking about it. I did raise this question with our friends at Turin Giants, and I said, let's say that they did have something secured in the sense of a Zidane, a Klopp, or etc., whatever. Would you deal with another year of Allegri if you knew that was coming at the backside of it?
No.
I said no as well. I said no.
No, I mean, what's the other option? So let's say Allegri stays, but something has to change. What do we sell? All the roster, replace everyone with no money? What other options do we have of fixing that and, going into next season full of hope and like this newfound spirit that we're going to make it? I don't get that with Max. Maybe a lot of guys do. That's fine. A matter of personal belief and taste, but not for me. 3 years, 6 transfer windows, nothing has changed. We look exactly the same as we looked 2 years ago. It's time to cut the rope.
Yeah. And LJJ, I will fully support the club and Giuntoli's this year. I've never done otherwise. Whatever they decide, it's just, we're just speaking of opinions now. I was, labeled a flip-flopper this season because I got behind Max and I started backing him, whatever, even though in the summer I said I would make the change. So it's not about supporting the club. That will never waver, my friend. Never. Regardless of who is there for players, who the coach is, it matters not to me, man. It's just if everyone's gonna ask questions, and this show is based on fan opinions, whatnot. I'm gonna give them, but support. I'm not out there. Printing shirts of Allegri out, etc., or this guy out, this guy out. I might make this one though because it's catching a lot of steam lately. Okay, so maybe we need Alberto out in the merch there, but it's not about the personalities, whatever. It's really about the club thriving and succeeding. But it'll never waver. My support will never waver. I'm not going to be like I've seen out here doing watch-alongs, cheering for the opposition to get somebody out. Like, that's never going to be something you see from us. Period. All right? And we got some more coming in, but we're going to... Okay, we got some good stuff coming in here. We are going to get to... I have to pull something up because... Every now and then, we just got to send a few little reminders out, and I like to call certain segments, and you'll see some of these shorts pop up, and it's another day, okay? So, another day, look at John, that experience I couldn't even imagine, okay? But we're going to pull this one up here, okay? I'm going to pull this one up here right quick here. So, France de Medio, okay? This is in response to a Debalexa, okay, our friend Lex tweet. Classic coach blaming. Let the players take accountability rather than only blaming the coach. Getting sad at this point. I will remind everybody in the chat today, he is a Napoli fan, all right? So here we go. Number one, coach blaming. Tell that to your tin pot club, okay, who is on coach what? 7 or 8 this season. Thank God you guys actually got more coaches in this season than shirts you created. Thank God, because your shirts were garbage when you created that. Okay? Getting sad? No. What's sad is your team's title defense. All right? Another day. And that one's for you, Lex. All right? No one goes in on Lexi, okay? Shut the fuck up and get out of here. All right? And there we go. Now, hope you all enjoyed that. But yeah, any chance I get to run on the Chihuahuas, it's happening. Okay? And leave Lex alone, for God's sakes. But yes, I love it. I will take absolutely nothing from a Napoli fan. Okay? How's the dynasty going? Yeah. Shut up. All right. Now.
Remember that dynasty? That was long.
what a dynasty. Oh, baby. The receipts of those fools. Oh, my God. Top 5 happiest Juve moments. 96. 96 for me. It wasn't like obviously at the point because of what it had to evolve in, but Del Piero signed for Juventus on my birthday. So that ends up being one that turned into something cool long term. And top 5, man, so many trophy sellies, man. Like, it's 96, Del Piero signing, the what Buffon's signing turned into was crazy, but the 2011-12 season, it's up there, man. That was magic. From everything we went through, 11-12 was a ride, man.
Some great moments in there. Happiest Juve moments. Let's go specific, like very specific matches.
Okay.
So obviously the Champions League, but I was really young. Like I wasn't the hardcore fan I am today, so I can't name that. Let's go with Pirlo's long shot versus Torino. Beautiful.
I gotta throw in the 2002-2003 Real Madrid Champions League semi in Turin there, that game. Oh my God.
I would even throw Zalaeta, maybe even twice. That goal against Barca, and a lot remember in 2003, that's what got us to the semifinals. We were 10 men down. David's got a red card. Barca haven't lost all season in the Champions League. and suddenly Zalayeta comes with that goal from wherever.
Yeah.
5th of May, definitely.
Cinque Maggio, we're coming up on that, baby. Cinque
Yeah,
Maggio.
definitely.
Yeah.
And a lot of beautiful moments because of the Fino alla Fine spirit. We have a lot of like late wins against top clubs. I mean, any answer would be a good answer. The
Yeah.
3-0 against Barca was phenomenal.
Now, we kind of got, and I don't want to ruin it for anyone that's gonna, check out the show, but we had one, any result. I just want to get Omer's answer. You guys could tune into the show with Turin for mine and whatnot, but any result in Juve's history you can alter, which one and why?
That's an easy one. 2015 Champions League final. It felt like that team really, really deserved to win it. They were actually phenomenal. It took a few years to build, and that would have been the culmination of this rejuvenation of Juve from 2011 to 2015. That was the moment we deserved it. We actually deserved it.
Yeah, man, there's a lot. This was actually mine, the same as Alex P. That one.
Mm-hmm.
And I said the reasons were just that was one of my favorite all-time. It was one of my favorite all-time Juventus sides, period. And for them to get there, who we lost to, how in kicks, like it just, that is the one I would change for sure. And we still would have seen Buffon get one as well. And at that point, yeah, that's the one for me. A lot in here though that we're going through, and yeah, it's tough, man, when you're thinking about those, because there's a lot we can overturn. But it's definitely going to be one of those Champions League finals. Who is the most favorite to be Juventus next main sponsor for next season? There's a lot of mixed reports, but again, much like everything going on around Juve, I don't think anybody has a clue, because I've heard of big names out of the U.S. We have obviously heard a lot of speculation around Saudi sponsorship. All I know right now is that Scanavino and Calvo are the ones working on that side of things. And everything right now is just stemming the finalization. I think they've already decided. I think they know who it's going to be, but it just comes down to the Champions League qualification. They're just waiting for that to be finalized, which it will, and then we're going to go from there. Yeah, the hopes of Ferrari and whatnot, it would look sick and whatnot. They do want some outside money apparently. So, but yeah, Ferrari would look just unreal, in my opinion, on our kits. But there you have it. So, Omer, I got to open it up to you, because usually I do that at the beginning. But is there any questions? Is there something we didn't tackle that you kind of wanted to?
No, there were a lot of things in the news, and I've been on a lot lately. So yeah, we're kind of covering everything, even rehashing a lot of topics. So yeah, I don't have any
All right.
clear answer, clear question.
There you go. There you go, everybody. Again, apologies, no watch along, but there's 2 titles to defend, and I got a 4.5 hour drive ahead of me, all right? But I will be probably tweeting during the match, all right, as I watch it in the back of a truck as we're traveling to this tournament. But I'll be there until Sunday night, so it's a weekend-long tournament. And we are not going to do the post-match tomorrow. We're going to tackle post-match also with preview of the second leg semifinal against Lazio, okay? But you will see shorts and everything. I'll drop my thoughts on the games. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend, okay? I will try and get some snippets from the tournament I'm at, and try to get some footage, whatever, send some clips, because everybody's also kind of been asking about that. Can Berto actually ball? Is he half decent? Does he suck? Man, maybe we should just pull up some clips and stuff and critique me on a show. We give it out to the players. Hey, I could take it too. Let's go. But I appreciate all the well wishes, everybody, okay? At my age, I'm just more concerned with not getting hurt. But yeah, I'm going to bag some goals and we're going to win that damn trophy. And I'm going to be sending you guys some video clips of me drinking out of that bastard again this season, all right? That's the hopes. Omer, always a pleasure, my friend, okay? Have
Always.
fun hanging with the Peacock today. Enjoy the match, all right? And everybody, yeah, as always, no matter what, fino alla fine, forza Juventus. Let's get the win here today against Cagliari, all right? Let's go. Alberto bangers incoming. That's the game plan. Let's see how it works out for me, all right? Ciao tutti. Take care.
Yeah.